up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
Yeah, I'm about to cough. Nah, little bit. Welcome to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Today we eat with ribeyes with Mike, as well as the pitchers I'm going to talk. You know I wrote some books, guys, so enough small talk, and let's get to the money. First pitcher on the board is Andrew Abbott at the Guardians. Morning line 4.5 minus 145 on MGM, where FanDuel had a 5.5 at Super Plus money. It's still the same. Pitching out 16.5 minus 130 to the over, and his earned runs are 2.5 minus 130 to the under. Projected lineup is 7 righties, 2 lefties. Abbott gets his second shot at the Guardians, who over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties have been very pick-onable to say the least, as they're not walking 2.5% worse than league average, striking out 28.5% of the time with a putrid ISO of a 0.68. League average is 140, 170 means they're crushing the ball. But yeah, it's been the dogs and the bums who have been eating versus these Guardians. As the guys I would bet on in this time span, Max Fried went 6 innings, 0 earned runs with 7 punchouts. Rodon, 7 innings, 1 earned run with 8 punchouts. And Skubal had the most strikeouts in a Maddox in the history of baseball, as he threw a complete game in less than 100 pitches, allowed 0 runs, and struck out 13. As they even seen guys on the back end of their career like Kershaw, who went 5 innings of 1-run ball, and fucking even Wade Miley went 5 innings and gave up 3 versus this team. Either way, guys, they ain't scored but 1 run in 22 innings versus the Dogs. Now, I wouldn't call Abbott a dog, but he is a fucking gamer, and he's a solid number 3, and he'll work his way into a number 2. And like I said, guys, it's the second time seeing this team, where back on May 18th, he went 5 innings of no-run ball while having 6 strikeouts versus a team who at the time was walking league average, striking out just 24% of the time, but yet their ISO was 0.59. It was actually worse than where it's at today, even though that's not saying much. It ain't gone up much. So all in all, guys, they have gotten worse. And that's, let's say, that's why they sent Big Christmas back. Now, that's a walking strikeout straight into him, guys, and he's no longer in this lineup. Now, when I look to back Abbott, I like to look for zone contact, as this year, when he has had 6 of the 9 batters in a lineup that were bad at zone contact, he is 2-1 to the over, but averaging 9.5 in his wins. That tells me we got to ladder this man when we see these spots. So we look at this projected lineup. Granted, there's only 34 prior at-bats, which is very small, but yet they're only striking out to Abbott just 14.7% of the time. So we go look for the zone contact, and yet we have 5 of the 9 projected worse than league average when it comes to zone contact. Yet one of those 5 is bad, but yet has not struck out to Abbott in 7 at-bats. So that's going to drop it there to me to, instead of 5 of the 9, it is now flipped the other way towards the under. So am I going to bet his strikeouts under versus the Cleveland Guardians? No. No, I'm fucking not. What I was looking to bet, guys, was Abbott's earned runs under, as it was minus 130 when I wrote this. when I woke up, I mean, but at the time of me writing this, his earned runs have now moved to a minus 145 to the under. His outs have moved to 17.5. Yet I haven't pulled the trigger, but I am looking to back like a team total under first 5 at plus money or an Abbott's outs prop. I do want to see the lineups. If they take Martinez out, then it's going to be an over spot for me, as disgusting as it's going to say. And it might be like a live over spot because the tough guys is going to be Kwan, Ramirez, Santana, Martinez. Well, Ramirez and Kwan are 2 of the top 3. So it's tough when you're not going to get those 2 and you're trying to bet a K prop. But at the end of the day, the lean right now is just to back Andrew Abbott and not to back his K prop, as I expect this guy to go 5-6 innings and give up less than 2 earned runs. But 2 earned runs could be the number. And right now they're at 1.5 at plus money. And if that's the number, I think the plus money is the way to go. Next guy on the board that we're going to talk about is a new kid on the block, Mick Abel. Morning line 4.5 minus 110 on DraftKings. It's still the same. Pitching out 17.5 minus 122 to the over. Earn runs 2.5 at a pickup. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Abel is the Phillies' 3rd best pitching prospect and is getting his shot in the majors due to injuries to this starting rotation. Abel was taken in the first round of the 2020 draft straight out of high school, with 4 or 5 quality pitches coming from his 6'5" frame. His fastball velocity did dip a bit last year, but he was still touching 98 miles per hour and averaging 94.6. He also added a 2-seamer that generated more contact on the ground than StatCast generates that pitch as a sinker. Let me tell you guys, sometimes you need to know what they throw, and then you can't take in the sinker if you're going to go pitch by pitch. The motherfucker throws a 2-seamer. Now, what's the difference between a 2-seamer and a sinker? A 2-seamer has side to side. A sinker then goes downward. So if it has any downward break to it, they call it a sinker. Dustin May doesn't have a fucking sinker. They register him as a sinker. Now, in 2023, Abel, his curve, now thrown in the 81 to 84 mile per hour range, was the better of his 2 breaking balls. But last year, his mid-80s slider was his more consistent option, especially in terms for landing it for strikes. Now, he can sell his upper 80s changeup as well, as it does have some nasty sink. So a guy I'm looking to back, guys, if we get the right team. Last week was not the right fucking team. And is the Cubs going to be the right team, guys? As over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching, they're walking league average, only striking out 20% of the time with a middle-of-the-pack ISO. And when we look at who they've seen, guys, the only one I care about, as they have seen some dogs, the only one that I care about is Jack Flaherty. And he went 6 innings with 9 punch-outs. Now, Sharpie, why you care about that game? Because StatCast doesn't rate a knuckle curve on batters. They'll rate it for a pitcher, but they will not rate it on batters. So it's really fucking hard to take in a guy's whiff or what he does to that pitch when they don't register that pitch. The knuckle curve is one of those fucking pitches. Now, because they don't register it, I always like to compare that pitch to Aaron Nola and Jack Flaherty, where their knuckle curves are nasty. But yet Abel's knuckle curve is harder, faster, and has more spin than both of them. Now, Flaherty has a 15 mile per hour difference in his fastball and curve, where Nola and Abel are at a 13 mile per hour difference. Yet once again, this guy's fastball this year is averaging 96 compared to the 92.5 of Flaherty's and 91.5. So when I look at this projected lineup versus Nola and Flaherty, we have murder in some of these guys. Suzuki, Happen, Bush have all struck out near 50% of the time. Now, what I don't want to see is Turner in for Bush, but with a right-handed bat, just like last night with Wheeler, I do expect Bush out there. And with Bush in this projected lineup, I come up with 7.5. with Tucker and Horner being dead spots. So give me this lineup, guys, and I'm going to take the shot on Abel at the 4.5, and then I'm going to take the dart throw on the 6.5 as well, as I think it's time for Kane to go get some Abel. And this is the Abel we picking. Do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. Now, Mackenzie Gore gets the Mets at the Mets. Morning line 6.5 even money on DraftKings. It's now minus 106 to the over on FanDuel. Pitching out 17.5 minus 125 to the over. His earned runs are 2.5 minus 145 to the under as well. Projected lineup is 7 righties and 2 lefties. Gore gets his first shot at the Mets, who over their last 200 plate appearances are walking 2.5% better than league average, striking out just 20% of the time with a middle of the pack ISO. And when we look at who they've seen, as they've seen a bunch of teams without a lefty that I would back, yet they did see the Red Sox. And Crochet went 5.1 innings, 1 earned runs with just 5 strikeouts. So we talked about their ISO being middle of the pack. Well, they're not hitting, they're middle of the pack versus regular pitchers. They're not hitting the one good pitcher they've seen. So can we get to Gore? Now with Crochet, we use zone contact. That's been something I've used, and it's worked very well in the games that I've stayed off. In the games that I've backed him, he's done nothing but win for me. So at the end of the day, I don't use zone contact for Mr. Gore. We've talked about Mr. Gore on this, guys, on this show over the last few times. And we've talked about how he is now pretty much matchup proof when it comes to betting this man. We talked about how Chase has been the one thing I've always looked for to bet him. Where this year, even if the chase isn't there, it just doesn't fucking matter. This man has been dog walking people. He is the league leader in strikeouts right now. And it's for a reason. We've talked about this. He's a 26-year-old kid stepping into his prime, and all of his stuff is got extra velo, extra. He's finally growing into himself, and he finally trusts himself. Now, one thing that I got to look at too, though, is the past history, as we do have a fuck ton of past history. And in just 80 at-bats, Gore is only striking them out at a 20% of the clip. And that's with a projected lineup that doesn't have McNeil in it. And I do expect to see him in it today, as he is batting 712 at-bats with just 1 strikeout. Now, he is a lefty, but the coach would be kind of fucking dumb not to put a guy batting 700 off of him. Now, if that does happen, I expect this line dropping to a 5.5 hella fucking juice like it was. Or, no, he wasn't ever at that. That was the other guys. I expect to be hella juice or super, super plus money on the 6.5, as that'll drop the past history strikeout percentage below 16% if they put him in. So something you got to look at there as well. Now, we do got to look for Chase, as like I said, if it's there, then he's definitely going to have his shot, as his chase contact is on the top 5 percentile of starting pitchers. And we have 6 of the 9 projected in this lineup worse at chasing. Now, we have 2 guys who do cancel each other out, as Lindor is league average at chasing, yet has only struck out 1 of 17 at-bats, yet Soto doesn't chase and has struck out 5 of his 9 at-bats. So as crazy as this sounds, is we got to do some work. And when I run this pitch mix, guys, versus Gore against the chase and the past history, this is a bottom-heavy lineup where he's going to get his strikeouts today. As this may be a pull him down and alt him to the earn runs under type spot like I did with the Cubs, but I also bet his 7.5 versus the Cubs. I don't know if this is the spot to be betting Mackenzie Gore 6.5. Now, if you're betting him under, you're just fucking praying, because this man has done nothing but destroy people, and you're hoping to get in. The one thing I can back to is over right now that I can talk about is that past history is the old Mackenzie Gore. This Mackenzie Gore is a fucking dog. I have never put him in the dog conversations. And when I went through the year to see what dogs have they even faced, we talked about Crochet. Cool. Fried went 6 innings, 2 earned runs with 8 strikeouts. And then Rodon, 5 innings, 1 earned run with just 5 Ks, as he walked 4. And like Gore, Rodon is a guy I use chase with. But I've also talked about Gore not needing the chase, as if it's there, it's a bonus. We talked about, I was on sale all day yesterday, guys, and it was the same type of thing. If it's there, cool. But who cares? It's just a bonus. It doesn't mean you still can't go do the work. So when I do the work is I got him at 6.5. And it's going to come down to, can he get the middle to the bottom of the half multiple times? I think he can, but I don't know if I'm willing to bet that. What I am willing to bet, though, is they don't score fucking 3 runs off Mackenzie fucking Gore. They haven't gotten more than 2 runs off any fucking dogs yet this year. And I will put them in the same categories as those other dogs. So minus 145, minus 150 for earns runs are a little steep for my liking. So depending on the lineup, I will same game parlay it with his strikeouts. But if they put McNeil in, I'm not going to tempt fate. And I will look to bet their earn runs under first 5 or just pay up the fucking juice for a guy who has been that fucking dude when it tells him to be that fucking dude. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Next guy we're going to talk, Kyle Harrison at the Rockies. Morning line 4.5, minus 160 on FanDuel or 6+ on DK. It's now plus 125 on DK as all books have moved. Pitching outs 15.5, minus 175 to the under. Earn runs 2.5, minus 120 to the under. Projected lineup is 8 righties and 1 lefty. Harrison gets the Rockies, who over their last 200 plate appearances versus lefties are walking below league average, striking out 28% of the time with a bottom 7 isolated power. And the first question I have to answer when betting a guy in Colorado is, have you done well there before? As we know, the thin air fucks with certain pitch mixes. And in Harrison's short career, he has had 2 games in Colorado, both coming last year, and in 12 innings of work, he hasn't allowed a run, as well as having 6 strikeouts in 5 innings of work and then just 2 in 7 innings of work. Well, I was on him the day he got fucking 2 in 7 innings, guys, and it fucking sucked, but the wind was blowing in 18 miles per hour, and this guy just pitched to contact knowing that they weren't going to hit the ball out in the Rockies that day. Now, when we look at Harrison's metrics, we see a guy who through his career is in the zone 3% more than league average. And yet this year, he's in the zone 6% more than league average. Also in his career, he's 1% better than league average at zone contact. This year, he's 7% better. And it comes down to the chase and chase contact, where in his career, his chase is 2% worse than league average. It's only 1% worse this year. So, I mean, it's actually 1% better this year, but yet his chase contact is league average this year, where it's been ass through his career. So chase contact really being the thing we need to pay attention with. So in the past, guys, I have paid attention to zone contact, as like I said, he's lived in the zone, but I'm going to pay attention to both. So, is that in this lineup? And when I grade this lineup out, we have 8 guys who are gradable, as we do have 1 kid with minimal at bats in the majors. And we have 4 of the 8 projected worse than league average at zone contact, 6 of the 8 who chase, with 5 of the 8 league average or worse at chase contact. Now, there are 3 guys who are terrible at all 3, and they happen to be 3 of the first 4 projected. And those are guys you can get multiple times when you're going to see them 3 times. Now, I do also have 3 dead spots, being Farmer, Freeman, and Estrada. As dead spots, guys, if you've got 3, that's already scary taking a K-prop. And then if we look at the past history, it's going to say 4, as McMahon's only struck out 2 of the past, or 2 of 11 at-bats versus him. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think this past history may be a little bit fraudulent, kind of like Gore. I told you, Gore's turned into a man. Kyle Harrison is 23 fucking years old, guys. And so far this year, he's had a velo jump of 3 miles per hour or more on every fucking pitch. He's now throwing his fastball 95.5 miles per hour with 100 RPMs fast, better than where it was at last year. His slurve, 3 miles per hour faster with near 200 RPMs better. And his changeup as well being 3 miles per hour faster with not losing the spin. This guy's gotten fucking better, guys. And then I go look at his pitch mix and I look at the time on the clock. His slurve breaks and ends on the clock the same spot where Lodolo's and Luzardo's broke. And we know what them boys did in Colorado, fellas. They fucking had a fucking day. So I'm looking to back Kyle Harrison, whether I take his strikeouts over or take it down with his earned runs. But I may be looking at his earned runs under as well. It is minus 120 at 2.5. He's pitched 2 times in the Rockies, hasn't allowed a run yet, and now he's even better. Yeah, Kyle Harrison fucking shines today. Do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe as well. This will be the last guy we talk about before we get into the hitting props. And the last guy happens to be Dylan Cease versus my Doyers. Morning line was 6+ minus 160 on DraftKings. FanDuel had him at a 7+. It's now plus 115 on DK, and all books have moved to the 7+. Pitching out 16.5 minus 130 to the over has now moved to a 17.5. Earned runs 2.5 minus 145 to the under. Projected lineup 5 lefties, 4 righties. And this is what comes down to math, guys. Doing fucking math. You have to do some math sometimes. Cease gets the Dodgers, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching are walking 3% better than league average, striking out just 21% of the time with a top 7 ISO. And this will be Cease's first time versus the Dodgers this year, as he has seen them 4 times in his career and has a solid 2.61 ERA while striking 28 out in 20 innings of work. Yet, guys, that doesn't tell you everything, as it don't show you the postseason numbers in a guy's fucking shit. As he got destroyed on backs-to-backs, guys, last year versus the Dodgers as well in the playoffs. So now in 4 of those games last year, including the playoffs, Cease didn't have more than 6 strikeouts in any fucking game. Yet we had a super juice 6, or now, like I said, all books have moved to a 6.5. So the Dodgers aren't striking out. They're walking at a high clip. And we have a guy who has a problem walking fucking people. They haven't posted his outs yet. I mean, his walks yet. But if it's at a fucking 1.5, or if they say he's only walking 2, this is going to back my case in backing Dylan fucking Cease today. As, like I said, he didn't have 6 strikeouts in the 4 games last year versus the Dodgers. And we have a fuck ton of past history to look at, as in 102 at-bats versus Cease against this projected lineup, he has struck them out at a 30% clip. Well, if he's striking them out at a 30% clip, and he ain't had more than 6, that's where the math comes in, fellas. That means he ain't going deep into games. If you're striking people out 30% of the time, you're not going fucking 6 innings then. And we got a guy's props that moved from 16.5 to a 17.5. He hasn't gone 6 innings versus the Dodgers in 4 games. Something tells me, guys, today is the fucking day he does it. And let's talk about this kind of stuff. How I told you I look for chase with certain people. This is another guy that I do look for chase. And when the chase has been there, it has been fucking money. And I have been able to ride the chase with the past history override. As if they don't chase, but yet they strike out, guess what? They count as a guy who fucking chases. Kind of in the same fucking thing I was talking about with Soto and Gore in the Gore spot. So I have 5 of the 9 who don't chase. Yet Freeman chases and has only struck out to this man 2 of his 11 at bats. So that now makes it 6 of the 3 to the under. Now we got to fucking do a lot of past history math here, guys. Now, Muncy, Smith, and Conforto don't chase, yet the least they have struck out to Cease is at a 28.5% clip, where Ohtani has struck out 25% of the time, Betts just 20% of the time. It's Hernandez, Edman, and Podges, the ones who do chase, who have struck out 9 of 21 times. So it's a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that, guys. But when you take into the past history, and you take in the guys that do chase, it's 6 of the 9 in favor of the over. Yet the 3 who are in favor of the under happen to be the first 3 guys in this lineup. So maybe it's a better get in live, guys, as if he gets one of the 3 on just like 18 pitches, then we still get the same number. So I run this lineup, guys, and I come up with 7.25 with 3 guys at a half and Betts being a 0.25. As the past history says Freddie shouldn't. But Freddie's been hurt, and his metrics say different this year as he's chasing and whiffs at everything this man throws. So Freeman actually can fucking go down today, as well as Ohtani. Now, Ohtani is walking at a stupid percent. And if he isn't in the zone, he's going to walk him. But if he's in the zone, he's going to fucking strike him out as Ohtani's swinging for home runs. So as crazy as this sounds, I'm leaning heavy to the over right here in this spot. But this is a spot like most of them, we need lineups. I didn't need lineups with Sale yesterday. The best lineup they had was the lineup projected. And if they put in any of the guys that could have got put in, it was going to get worse. So I got in on, that's very rare that I'll get in on a guy that early. Cease, we need lineups, guys, because last night we didn't get Conforto. They put Kim in instead. Kim is a really good fucking contact guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Smith is out the lineup tonight too, as Bobby Miller is pitching and Varsho or Dalton Rushing is the one who caught him in the minors. Granted, Smith has caught Bobby Miller before, but this would be a day that you give him off if you want to. So I want lineups. Wouldn't be surprised if this moves back to a 5.5, super hella juiced, as Conforto and Smith, either or both out this lineup, will move that line, and I see that happening. Now, another thing, guys, that's been happening, and it started yesterday, and Sharpie's always late to the party, guys, but that's okay. I'll get in today, and I'll take a plus 280, because if it ain't 280, she ain't a fucking lady. But what else we're going to do is it's Tuesday, and you know if Sharpie don't work, motherfucker, we got what? NBA. I don't know if we got NHL because I'm not really the big hockey guy. But we got a hockey guy, a basketball guy, and the guy who came up with RBI bettings, guys. Like straight up. Nobody out there was talking about RBI bets until this man. And that's why I bring this man to talk RBIs. He's not a man, though. That's a fucking problem. He's a shark.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
It's a 70-footer, bro. Tell me you went 1-0 last night.
Mike, I look at these things. It makes me laugh when you're when it's like, what's the new evidence? Satellite picture. We're underway, man. We got the RBI contest cooking right now. The grill is hot. We had almost 50 entrants. We had 30 RBIs cash last night. The contest is very much alive. Everyone's looking good, firing. A couple of big misses, though. Some of these guys, I'll talk about it later today, and some of the guys that kind of let everybody down. But, man, the biggest letdown, surprising to me, was looking over it. Let me find it real quick here. Jacob Wilson. A lot of Jacob Wilson love. He shut everybody down last night. So
Who the fuck is Jacob Wilson?
Fucking some scrub that plays for the Athletics.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Certain things Sharpie doesn't do is bet on the oh wait, I did bet Lopez the other day. I fucker cashed my 5th strikeout on the last batter, you fucking bum.
You got a bunch of guys. But what a day it was. We're on our way. It's been fun. What a lot of runs yesterday. And it's that time of the year. You know, I talked about this before. We're using data now. We've got good data with what these baseball players are and are not. We see these pitchers and what they're doing. So we're starting to get a good track record of who's going to go out there, at least from a predictability perspective there. But yeah, man, it's got to be RBIs. We talked about this before. Don't bet home runs. Just stop it. I see him posted, and it always makes me smirk because I'm like, you're throwing a dart at a board. I mean, if these guys get 40 home runs, that's a lot. That means 1 out of every 4 games. And the reality is they're getting them, like, if they get a home run, they're probably getting 2 or 3 in that particular game, a.k.a. Aaron Judge. So 40, 50 home runs means 1 out of every 4. But reality is he's probably getting 1 out of every 6. You look at a guy like we'll talk about today and Kyle Tucker. The guy went 13 games without a home run. And you're only getting a plus 200 price tag. If that, it does not make sense to be playing those. However, the RBIs are good money out there. The biggest one that cashed last night in the contest was plus 225, a plus 210, a plus 180, a plus 200. Good money to be made there. So we got our 4-pack ready to roll, Sharpie.
That sounds like Sharpie on a good weekend, bro. Like getting 3 different girls. Whop, 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 whop. But let's get to it, my guy. Hey, bro, fuck that. I hope you were somewhat on these hitting props in the Dodger game last night.
Yeah.
I donated $50 on the under thinking it was going to be a playoff type series because they ain't seen each other this year. Maybe I was late a day and maybe it comes today, but fuck.
You know which one got me twice was the Dodgers-Yankee series. For some reason, I expected that to be, or not the Dodgers, I'm sorry, the Red Sox-Yankee series. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a lower scoring affair. And even down to the getaway day out there on Sunday Night Baseball, they're still smacking up 15, 16, 20 runs out there. So game to be involved with hitting, but I just
I got sodomized on Rodon on that Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What was the final score? 11-7 or something like that?
Watching it after 5, bro. I was like, fuck this.
And the total was like I can't remember if it was like 8, maybe. It might have been 8.5. And I was thinking that was a pretty good spot out there. And then all of a sudden you just see it it was like 7-1 in the first inning. I'm like, fuck, dude. This is terrible. At least I didn't have to spend too much time watching it.
Speaking of taking RBIs or something, bro, just hits, runs, RBIs too, like that, bro. Like me and Noli were talking the other day. I don't know if it was versus Scooble or if it was Rodon. One of the good lefties was going versus Cleveland. They can't hit lefties. And I was like, man, Ramirez is going to be that one guy who's going to fuck me, bro. Ramirez is going to fuck me. And he's like, yeah, bro, take the hits, runs, RBI, bro. And they didn't score that game, but they had 3 hits, 2 singles by fucking Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Like crazy. Like
I parlayed him hits, runs, and RBIs with the Cleveland to win yesterday, but Cincinnati was too good, I guess, is how it turns out there. But yeah, I gave one out last night. I started up the Instagram page. I gave out Ketel Marte over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Easy, no problem spot there for that guy, man. He's been money. He found a pitcher to exploit, and especially when you can find those pitchers. That's why I talk about the time of the year. You look at their last 2 to 3 starts, compare it to who they are over the course of the season and then who they are over the course of their baseball career. And you can start to find a really nice picture of who you should want to attack and then just find the props that make the most sense, right? It's the way we get paid.
That's
what
why
we do.
I love baseball, bro, because the back of the baseball cards, bro. Yep. Can always go back to the back of the cards and history repeats itself. It does in sports more often than not.
Damn right. Well, we got some action tonight. Let's go. Let's get into it. We got a couple of games that I was looking at. I'll talk about this Cleveland game. I'm going to be a little wild card here to pop the top on this thing here. But look, I got to pick apart Slade Ciccone. The guy's a pile of fucking mastodon dong. I mean, the guy's just, you step on it and it just won't come off your shoe. It's just like, God, this guy, what is going on out there? What you know about him is, well, a couple of things. One, he likes to pitch to some contact. He had a 5-hitter, a 5-hitter, a 7-hitter, a 5-hitter. And he's not a big K guy, especially as of late. You look at his 5 games, right? His first 5 games ago, he gets 5 Ks. He gets an 8. He kind of peaked. Then he gets a 6. Now he's down to a 3. He follows that up with another 3. And he's got a 4.87 ERA over 4 starts on the season. So for me, let's pick apart this guy in a team that has an offense in Cincinnati against righties, one of the best in Major League Baseball. They're number 6 overall when it comes to the OBA side of things with a 329. So they're getting on base. They're hitting consistently. This Cleveland team, it's the right spot for him with Slade Ciccone. I thought Cleveland would win yesterday. I don't expect him to get it done, especially with Slade Ciccone out there. 3 runs over 5 innings the last time they faced Slade Ciccone. And I guess I got to hope that he gets through the 5th guy out there because I'm looking at Will Benson. 8 at-bats, 4 hits on this guy, 2 donks, 2 bombs with 3 RBIs. The lefty matchup is problematic for Slade Ciccone. He's a 256 against righties. He's a 289 against lefties. And they're giving me Will Benson at plus 210. I get it. Will Benson has not been the, Mr. Consistent when it comes to smacking the ball around the yard here, but got a lot of guys in front of him that can get on base. And Friedel, De La Cruz, Encarnacion Strand. Team's heating up. They're in a spot where they can pick apart this pitcher. I think it's a great spot at plus 210.
Well, Benson is consistent at striking out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not consistent at getting the ball on the bat.
I know, bro. I just had to say that. There's guys in my chat that are, if they're when they watch this or something, they'll be like, "That dude's 1.5 strikeouts. Circle it." It's like, yeah, bro, you're right.
Well,
But
and if you look at the reason he's priced, well, there's probably a couple of reasons he's priced the way he is. He's not as great on the road. He's a 189, and if you look at his last 6 games, 18 at bats, 4 hits. I mean, it's not 1 for every 4, which means we got to get 1 on the base here. We got to get 1 on the bat, but I think you can nullify that with Slate Ciccone because this guy, like I said, he's a piece. He's a pile. He's a guy that we want to exploit. And I don't think that's a bad look for anybody else out there, Friedel, Lukes, but I want the lefty. Jake Fraley's tucked in there at the bottom of the lineup as well as another lefty to consider, but I'll take Willie Benson. I think he's got some good numbers. He's got some confidence out there against Slate Ciccone, and Slate Ciccone can't have a lot of confidence in his game right now. So that's kind of the right mental space I want to be at when I'm picking a batter. Take a swing, plus 250, literally.
man, if it ain't 280, it ain't a lady, bro. You said 250?
I'm sorry, 210. I was looking at the next guy.
Okay. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit. I put
Nope.
210, but let's get to the next guy.
Let's go. I got to go back to it, man. If you miss him day 1, you got to go back to him day 2 when the numbers line up. And it's a Tampa Bay spot. Now, I know there's weather. I'm aware that there's weather. I don't like to get involved in rain games. It looks like it's going to blow over by the time the 7:10 start comes in. We'll see how that predicts. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I want to get involved in this Tampa Bay Rays lineup because they're finding contact. They're one of the most efficient and successful offenses over the last 3 weeks in Major League Baseball. They were dog shit to start the season off, and they played a lot of games at home. A lot of stats kind of got skewed, and the price tags were inflated or deflated because they're in a smaller ballpark and a lot of runs when it comes down to it. So, as I was looking at this squad, though, what a game they had yesterday. A lot of runs. I expect more runs again today. And talk about another guy I want to pick apart. I want to take apart Lucas Giolito. I'll never forgive him for what he did to me 7 Patriots Day games ago. That's how long I said this yesterday. I'll forgive you, but I won't forget the abuse that Giolito put on me that game. I think he gave up 11 runs in like 1 or 2 innings. I love that they kept him in there, though.
You speak of abuse? I bet him last week, and the fucker I don't think made it out the first.
That's Giolito. That's why we're going to take advantage of Yandy Diaz. He's got a 250 against Giolito. You look at his numbers overall and solid performer. I mean, he's tough. It's tough because he's got the Lowe brothers on that team. He's got Arenado. He's got Caminero. There's a lot of muscle on that lineup out there. And at first glance, you look at Aranda and you go, why would I want to get this guy? He's got a 333 when it comes to the lefty righties. But Yandy Diaz, he hits a 282 on the road. He is consistent in his last 7 days. He's got 5 runs, 9 hits, and 2 RBIs. Offense is coming together. We're picking on Giolito. We want the righty, not all those lefties, because there's a 50-point increase in efficiency against Lucas Giolito. He goes from a 297 against lefties. Josh Lowe, Brandon Lowe, and Jonathan Aranda are all lefties. But tucked in the middle there is Yandy Diaz at a 347 is what we see Lucas Giolito goes out there against righties. So we got the inflated number. We got a guy that only had I think he had 2 hits yesterday, but did not get anybody across the plate. And I think it's just one of those law of averages. The bigger numbers that we have, the more sample we can put into the side of this thing here, the more it tells us the picture of who's due. And you don't want to bet it based on a who's due factor unless you've got some metrics that say this son of a bitch is due. And he's probably due for 2 or 3 today. So keep your eyes on Yandy. I missed with him yesterday. I'm going to go right back to him, though. He hits a 270 against right-handed batters. It should be a good matchup for runs in Boston and Tampa Bay.
Yes, sir. What'd you get that at? Plus what?
Plus 150 for our guy Yandy.
All right.
I mean, look, Giolito, you talked about how bad he is. I don't even know if we need to. Yeah, 8 runs, 7 hits. I mean, every time somebody was hitting the ball, they were coming across the plate on this fucking guy before they gave him the mercy hook out there. 6.42 ERA, 88 stuff plus. I mean, I'm not a big stuff plus guy, but
He's
just kind of hard to
right
quantify.
in my fucking ass is what he did.
Yeah, he's a
fucking bum.
He's the boil on the ass of success, and he just won't go away unless you go to the doctor.
Yeah, I hate him. On to the next.
Let's go. We got ourselves some
I'm betting
game.
Diaz today just so I can scream at the TV at him.
I got to do it. I don't like to pick against this guy because I think that we've got a situation where this organization found a guy, raised him properly, And now he's getting to show his ability in Mick Abel in the Major League Baseball here. He's been nothing but terrific. He's got a sub-1 ERA. He's playing at home. It's a spot where I expect runs, but I was looking at the lineups, and I kind of used a little deductive reasoning here. I thought to myself, as I'm looking at the lineup on the Philly side of things here, there's no Bryce Harper. And with no Bryce Harper, it scares the shit out of me. That lineup is just inconsistent. They did find a win yesterday. I was on the Cubs side of things. It was extra innings. I was disappointed, but it stayed under, which to me was just kind of saying, hey, we got 4 runs. We're on a team total of 4.5. It's Bryce Harper that's missing. I got to stay away from that side of things. Well, I'm not going to stay away from those. Kyle Tucker. And again, this is one of those guys. He's the lefty. Nobody on the Cubs side of things has any experience against Mick Abel. So you got to go back and you got to look at the numbers. Who do I like? It's Tucker, Suzuki, and Crow Armstrong in the 2, 3, and 4 positions out there. But I want to take a shot with the lefty here. Mick's pretty efficient on both sides of it. The reason I'm going to Kyle Tucker, you know I'm a sucker for Kyle Tucker. 1, he's priced at plus 150. 2, he's number 2 in the order. So he's going to get himself 4 or 5 at-bats. 3, he just got the bomb last night. He got his 13th homer of the season, had a 14-game home run drought. That's what I dropped at the top of the show when I said it's not. Stop following people that are giving you home run bets. Stop it. There's 2 things you want to stop doing. 1, playing home run bets. 2, taking Angel Reese over in her rebound props in the WNBA. You see people giving those out, you stop following them because they're just not steering you in the right direction. Over the last 4 of the last 5 hits for Tucker this month, 3 doubles. That home run last night. He's getting extra bases out there. He's getting 2+ in 5 of his last 8 games. This guy's got a 913 OPS. That means that he is efficient. He is effective. And he maybe got a little confidence back out there. The thing that I like about, testing this Abel kid is you got a lefty coming up to the match, coming up to the box, the batter's box out there. And it's just enough to throw him off. You got to figure out how to let Hap get around you. Maybe you pitch around him. Then you got Tucker. Then you got Suzuki and Crow Armstrong. That's murderer's row to some degree with the top 4. And I think Tucker's in a spot there just to give him that unique little spin look on it. What do you think about that?
Okay, you ready for this shit, bro? Are you ready for this shit, bro? Okay, I talked about Abel earlier. I'm looking to back Abel today. Don't get me fucking wrong.
Yeah.
You can still get strikeouts and get popped in the mouth. Kyle Tucker is taking this guy yard today, bro. Okay. I talked about how this guy throws a knuckle curve, so it's hard to grade out a knuckle curve when StatCast doesn't fucking give that for batters. And I also like to talk about who do I like to use as, if you throw a knuckle curve, I want to see how you do versus these 2 guys. How do you do versus Jack Flaherty and Aaron fucking Nola, 2 of the best knuckle curves in baseball? Tucker's got 2 home runs off both, and he don't strike out to them. Like there were guys like Suzuki that strike out half the at-bats to them type of pitches where Tucker is going double or yard today and bet it. And I'm not saying I'm a home run guy. So just take his over 1.5 bases. That would be the smart play. But like Cedric said on the chat, it's Dinger fucking Tuesday. And if DraftKings go give me a free $10, 20, I think it's 10. That's what they give me. I'll put it on fucking Tucker tonight.
Yeah,
I'm putting it on Tucker tonight, right? Yes,
look,
I am.
This guy's going to become a free agent and command a fucking mountain of money. So he's in that position to do it. He's looking good right now. He's got that confidence. Why not take the shot? And let me see what we can get a price tag at for this guy's yardstick here. Why not? I expect it to be an over. I expect the Cubs to win. I expect the Phillies to lose because, this inconsistency with the bats.
I was on fucking Wheeler, strikeouts pulled down to 6 and the Cubs team total at 4.5 under. And dude, I was sweating balls in extras. 2 innings of extras.
290 at FanDuel.
That tells me a guy who hasn't hit a home run in how long is 290? He just got one yesterday.
Yeah. 14 games. Think about the numbers, right? This is what we're talking about. 290. If you put $10 down, just easy math, $10 for 14 games, you're down $140. He finally gets one yesterday. That $10 won you $29. You're still in the hole for $110. But you're right. If you can isolate a spot where you find a guy, I mean, I'm not saying don't take a shot. I mean, I like to take a shot. I like to parlay. I'm too fucking greedy. I'll parlay 3 or 4 of them together. If I like them for, you know the deal. If I like them for RBIs, I'm smacking in a couple bucks on some home runs. I'm not going to go big on it. I don't want to disrupt the apple cart because if you catch 3, if you go 3 out of 4 with your RBIs, you're scoring. You're in the profit. So you don't want to give that back. But I still like to fuck around. I just don't like to come out and give them out as profitable bets.
Usually when I fuck around, I donate.
You fuck around and find out is what happens.
I love finding out. I think that's the reason why I haven't been banned by certain books is because they're like, he'll give us it back.
You gotta give a little back. Yeah, you gotta give a little back.
I get angry, mad, and angry bet, bro. Like there's times I've put $1,000 on a minus 350 not to score a run in the 9th inning on 3 outs. And I'm fucking just like, you motherfuckers, boom. And then they get a run.
I hear you. I'm in the same business. I've given up too much money on stupid bets at the end.
I got something for your little cousin right here. Okay, I say it to people all the time at work. It's not a spiel because it's the truth. Okay, I'm related to Moby Dick. He's my 5th uncle. Okay, I've been hunting whales since '94. If it ain't 280, she ain't a lady. It's that simple, buddy. All right.
Subhuman says fucking around, taking a lot of degen parlays here and there is a good way of keeping the books off your back. Yeah, give a couple back. It's okay. We're making, you got to play it proportionally. If you're a $10 bettor, your parlay shouldn't be more than $1. So keep that in mind if you're depending on how you're working on it. But man, I'll tell you what, I was conflicted with this last game here. I want to go for the big score. Maybe I'll talk 2 of these guys here. I did bet in this San Francisco Colorado game. The reason I'm conflicted is I think Palmquist is a piece of shit. I heard what you were saying about Kayla Harrison there, so I can respect that. At the same time, I find a reason to want to bet Colorado in this game. So these two aren't necessarily correlated. Clearly, I can take a side, and that doesn't mean I think it's going to be the winning side here. Probably a lower scoring game at Coors too, which is kind of weird, but that goes to your Kayla Harrison factors. And
Kayla Harrison.
Shout out to
Kyle.
Harrison.
Kyle, bro, he's not a woman. He's a
Kayla
man.
Harrison's the champ, man. You got to respect the champ. She fought her ass off last Saturday out there. So we'll give it to her, and we'll call Kyle Kayla here. Jung-Ho Lee. Jung-Ho Lee is the guy. He's priced to score. He's got a 135. A couple things I was looking at with Jung-Ho Lee. First of all, I said this before. Palmquist, pile of trash. This guy, to me, he's not a major league pitcher. I guess if you got to cut your teeth and you got to play in Coors to start your Major League Baseball career, then you're going to be one of those guys that has that 5.8 ERA, but somehow you end up playing for the Texas Rangers and you've got nothing but 2.0s for your last 4 years and you're still a piece of shit because you played at Coors. And maybe that's the case, but I still think in a Jung-Ho Lee side of things with San Francisco, lots of good guys out there. Of course, when you're looking at the bats, we do have a little bit of wind kicking out to the right, so I like that. But I like Lee being in the second hole out there, that 2 spot. Overall, again, no experience thus far against Palmquist, but you got to earn an 8.50 ERA, man. This guy's 0-4. He's walked 10 batters. That means that I think there's a propensity for guys to get on the pond. He's got almost 2.5 walks per game out there. Going to be some guys in front of him, and you got the lefty-righty matchup. This is lefty on lefty. This is going to be advantageous in 2 spots. One, the best guy on the Colorado Rockies against a lefty is Jung-Ho Lee, the center fielder out there, hits a 306. And the worst batting opportunity for Carson Palmquist is a lefty. He's bad against righties with a 315. He's just a little worse against lefties with a 333. So at a plus 135 for me, what I like best, he just had a day off. He's only played 6 games in his last 7 days. He's got 7 hits. That's consistency right there. He's hitting almost 1 every 3 at-bats. He's got a home run. He's got 4 ribbies. San Francisco did go through a little bit of a scoring drought. I think the answer for that is Coors, at least to go out there and touch up. Now, the lefty-lefty matchups, pitching-wise, I always feel like those are under. So this 11.5 seems super bloated to me. But this guy's plus 135, so I'll take a shot with him and round out the bag for us. Here's a bonus one. Oh, fuck it. I'm going to throw it out there too. Willie Castro, Minnesota. Bring me in. We got a Minnesota opportunity out there. This guy, I want 2 things. One, I want to fade Molly. 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, and a homer. His last go round out there. I think these things happen in bunches. In the pitching wise, 2 or 3 games in a row, this guy's due to suck the big D. Willie Castro, on the other hand, though, just had himself a monster run for like a 2-week period. In his last 6 games, 19 at-bats, 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 homers means he just doesn't matter if anybody's on the pond or not. He's still good to go get it done. And then 3 RBIs as well. That's a plus 250 bucket. That's going to round us out with the big score. That's a 5-pack today, Sharpie. I'm going to get in on him too. So what the hell? Let's go for it. Let's go for broke.
Yeah, man. Go for broke. That sounds like it's going to be the motto of the day, man. And I got to just remind that everything that I've wanted to bet on earned runs on these pitchers today, the juice is all coming. And it's like, son of a bitch. Why didn't I get in earlier? Because I didn't want to pay fucking juice in the first place. That's fucking why. Why do I have to pay juice?
Juice.
Wait a second. I have something for juice.
Why don't you just chill? No buts too. Link and I are cruising the mountain, bro. We figure we's a little juice.
No, we sing the juice. Where's the juice? No, we sing the juice.
No, we sing the juice.
No, losing the juice.
Bro, you gotta be our age to appreciate the classic of that movie right there, bro. Pauly Shore was the shit for like 10 years.
Dude, Biodome, classic. You gotta check it out. It's good stuff. It's always good to go
Jury
back and check it out.
Duty? Jury Duty's a good one, bro.
Oh, what was the one where he was the guy that was dating the farmer's daughter there? I can't remember what that was.
Oh, that's a great one. Son-in-Law.
Yeah, Son-in-Law. That's right. That's a great one.
Hey, that had Kelly from Saved by the Bell.
Yes, it did.
Oh,
yes, it did.
My God. I had a huge crush on that chick.
Everybody did. You and me both, dude. She was no 280, that's for sure.
But I'd still give my left testicle to this day for one night with her. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. It's Tuesday, and on the days that I don't work, Mike and Ramon are generous enough to come hang out. So if we can get a couple others, that'd be great. If not, oh well, why don't you come join us tonight? We'll do it on your channel because I'm always the one who goes to sleep early. That way I don't fuck up the stream count and all that. So you'll set it up, send me the link, and we'll do our thing tonight. I might have to get in on the RBI thing. Let them know where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yeah, man, we'll do it up. That sounds fun. We'll get together, get a couple hours of MLB and us. No NBA, no NHL tonight. So it is all baseball all night. So get ready, get fun. It's going to be exciting. We'll have some WNBA. They got 2 games out there. We'll talk about them. But check us out, man. Sports Money. We got the Instagram page up and running. I put a player prop of the day out there. I started yesterday. We went 1-0. Got another one lined up for today. We'll see if we can go 2-0 and keep it rolling. You can follow the Sports Money Network at Instagram. And we'll keep it rolling, man. Thanks for having me, Sharpie. Thanks for doing this. And I'll see you in a couple hours.
Yes, sir. Right now, guys, I'm looking to back Abbott in some way, but the more and more I look, I may just let him go. I'm probably going to pay the juice on the earned runs, 2.5 under on Mackenzie Gore. He is that fucking dude. He's a guy I should pay juice for. Dylan Cease, if this is the lineup we get, I will be backing him, but I do expect a couple changes. And Kyle Harrison, not Kayla, but Kyle. Kyle may look like Kayla with a wig on. I don't know, because Kayla does look like a man. Yeah, I said that, Kayla. Get all mad, get in your panties, and Amanda Nunez is going to beat the bark off of you, woman. At least I hope so. Yeah, guys, as always, I will tweet out all my action that I bet on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Sharpie's Bets. I do give out my action 2 days a week. And yeah, may God freaking the gods of baseball be good to us today. Because to be real, yesterday, lost a little money. Day before, lost quite a bit of money. Day before, lost $20. It just ain't been that the last few days. And it's because I was firing. I'm just firing, you know. It's like, fire $50, fire $50. On the ones I'm betting 150, 200, I'm hitting them. But then I'm losing all these little $50 shots. But shots are meant to be shots. Bets are meant to be bets. Shane Baz can eat a bowl of dicks. Struck out the side yesterday on 12 pitches to not get 6 strikeouts in the game. Pulled at 75 pitches after just striking out Story to get 5. That's baseball, fellas. But Chris Sale was Chris fucking Sale. And thank you, Jesus. I needed that. I needed Chris Sale. Today,